siya na romantic yung provisional member. Wala ko siya. In attendance, the head and members of the technical working group, head and members of the BAC Secretariat. On the part of the prospective leaders, we have representatives from First Aid Incorporated, Marilao Medical and Diagnostic Clinics Incorporated, Best Diagnostic Corporation, Green Trust Medical Trading.
We request those prospective bidders attending here to place the company in front of their names para makita natin. Okay. Thank you, President, for going to share the presentation for digital PGCS number 0 format as statement must not go over. But okay, I will give schedule today.
We have 3 items in our agenda, Mr. Chair. Number 1 is the approval of minutes of the previous BAC meeting, HO-BAC-PGCS number 032-2021, dated 18 May 2021. Number 2 is the credit conference for the procurement of COVID-19 viral transport medium test kits and laboratory testing service for seafarers. Number 3 is the procurement conference for the procurement of security services for the port cluster, National Capital Region, Central and Northern Luzon. Procurement of security services for the port security cluster, Southern Luzon. Procurement of security services for the port security cluster, Visayas. Procurement of security services for the port security cluster, Northern Mindanao. And procurement of security services for the port security cluster, Southern Mindanao.
Thank you. And if there is objections, the procedure provided on our agenda, the approval of the minutes of previous practice.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the release of the previous stock meeting. HO-BAC-PGCS number 032-2021, it was held on May 18, 2021.
Second motion, Mr. Chair.
It has been moved that the council approve the Mr. Previous Staff Meeting their position thereto.
Mr. Chair.
There being none, the bill of HO-BAC-PGCS number 032-2021 held as May 18, 2021 is hereby approved and presented to the next item of our agenda. The previous conference,
For the procurement of COVID-19 viral transport medium test kits and laboratory testing service for seafarers, the same was posted on the PTA and PDX websites on 31 May 2021 with an approved budget for the contract of 200 million pesos. We have prospective bidders, First Aid Incorporated, represented by Leslie Canal, Mary Rose Fajardo, Jonaline Ang.
okay, who is taking behalf of First Aid? First Aid?
Hello, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Ms. Fajardo, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are your questions?
Hello, sir.
May tanong po ba kayo?
Sir, sorry po, di ko marinig, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Wala naman po, sir. Okay po.
Thank you, Dr. Ryan.
Salamat po.
The next prospective bidder, Marilao Medical and Diagnostic Clinic Incorporated, represented by Mr. Paul Agawin or Julius Capli.
Marilao,
Hello everyone.
can you turn on your video?
I'm sorry, sir.
On the camera. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Agawin, do you have any questions?
None so far.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Green Trust Medical Trading, represented by Mr. Alexander Hernandez.
Green Trust. Dito ba?
Andiyan daw po.
Okay. Green Trust, Mr. Hernandez, can you turn on your camera? Mr. Hernandez? Green Trust? Green Trust, can you hear me? Okay, no camera, okay. Do you have any questions? Okay, Mr. Hernandez, do you have any questions?
Sir, nagchat-chat siya eh. Wala siya yatang wala yata siyang audio na okay. Kasi nagta-type siya ng mga questions niya eh.
Okay.
Give the amendment of type po.
Let's wait for the minutes. The minutes pala.
Sterile containers with antibiotics talaga. Wala.
Tama, so tama yung nasa
Ako,
POR.
sterile containers talaga. Sterile containers talaga. With antibiotics.
What's the correction? So, the question is the antibiotics, a typo in the technical report, page 29.
Tama, sir. Sterile containers with antibiotics talaga.
So it should be,
Tama, sir. Sterile containers with antibiotics. Tama, sir.
okay, so it is not a typo. The requirement stereo containers with antibiotics is correct. Please type the response as well, baka hindi niya naririnig. Mr. Hernandez, the answer to your question is it's not a typo. The requirement is stereo containers with antibiotics.
Mga follow-up questions po.
Okay, let's proceed to the next.
Okay, the next one, Best Diagnostic Corporation, Abigail Santos. Miss
Just
Abigail.
diagnostics. Okay, just diagnostics. Ms. Santos, any questions? Best diagnostics. Wala akong naririnig.
Naririnig niyo na po, sir. Wala naman po akong question so far.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the last one, NDE Pharma. May we know the name of the representative?
NDE Pharma. Wala akong makikita dito. Sino si Orito?
Saan
Sa green trust.
Agri-trust.
Sa Green Trust.
Wala, sir.
Wala yung isa?
Sa NDE,
Wala.
wala siya.
May number ba?
Wala.
Well, hindi nila iwan. Ha?
Nag-email po.
Nag-email. Okay. Let's give them a minute to see if they can try back in. Pero pumasok na yun? Or hindi ba nakapasok?
Pumasok po kami.
Pumasok tapos nawala? First aid, may hinapon? May pahapon ng questions ng first aid.
First,
Okay, first aid, while we're waiting for MDE.
NDE.
Alright. Good morning, everyone. I just have few questions. Number one is just, are there requirements like SEC registrations need to be in certified true copy or a photocopy and an original just be presented for verification?
If you have a PhilJet certificate of registration, platinum membership, and all the documents are current, there is no need. Asset ba?
Hindi, second tinatanong.
If you have PhilJet certificate of registration, there's no need, platinum membership, there is no need to submit a SEC registration. However, if you do not have you can submit a copy of your self-registration subject to the presentation of the original during the post-one if you are a successful bidder.
So, okay, so the answer is duplicate may be submitted as part of the technical submission, and the original only need to be presented if the prospective bidder is subject to post-one.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. So to clarify, certified true copies of any documents are not required.
Any documents. Wala may certified true copy pa kailangan tayo sa original. Okay. So all the documents in the technical submission may be duplicates. The originals will only be, or the originals or certified true copies will only be required in the event that the prospective bidder is subject to post-qualification.
Noted.
Okay. Any other question?
In the statement of prospective bidders of all of its ongoing government, if we don't have an ongoing government contracts, we don't need to provide the statement of prospective bidder, right? The document.
All the forms are required, diba? You have to fill up all the forms which are required to be submitted, be submitted. Now, if you don't have any data to put in there, just put not applicable.
None, sir.
None, just put none. So you still need to submit the form.
All right. Noted.
Any other questions?
Yes. The special permit to operate should be acquired or processed in the PPA head office.
Maybe by the operate.
Yes, yes.
So saan process yan? Sa PMO, no, so sa PMO, so it's not the head office.
South Park.
South Harbor. Well, South Harbor, North Harbor, may area na tayo required. But it's in the PMO, Port Management Office, with jurisdiction kung saan kayo mag-operate.
If it's in the terminal, in
Yes,
the
so there is a Port Management Office in charge of that terminal. So you apply with that Port Management Office having jurisdiction over that terminal.
all right, noted. In the financial statements, as in 2019 and in 2020, submission of the BIR financial statements and ITR is actually allowed to be filed through online, through electronic audited financial statement submission. Would that be considered as a BIR stamp, or it has to be that with the stamp of the BIR?
Online.
Dalawa, sir, yung i-file na may form, tapos and yung stamp, meron yung stamp it. So either, sir, pwede.
So either. So if you file online, you have just have to present proof that you are filed online. May page yun, di ba? That will be filed. So that is the equivalent of stamp received by the BIR. So two options. If you file it manually, you have to submit the one stamp received. If you file it online, you include the page where it shows that you filed it online.
Noted. Thank you.
Print out on the page.
All right. I just want to clarify on the technical requirements, letter O, certification from DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Can you clarify or expound that one, please?
Technical review.
Is that necessary to be provided by all domestic corporation who is bidding in this project?
If you want to enjoy the domestic preference under the IRR of 9184, there are certain requirements provided under the rules, and I think one of it is a certification from the DTI.
Okay.
Sir, yung parang meron siyang visa, parang may ina-up yung kanong bid, ay binilist ka, parang gano'n.
Also, it is your option to submit those requirements. So whatever the advantages you may receive because of that privilege, that will be taken into consideration once the bid is open. So option, it's not a requirement, but you may opt to take advantage of that.
All Right. So this N and O is an optional. It's not necessary to be put as none or right. Just only for optional if we would like to get the privilege out of those documents.
Can you group? So option, they don't need to include the their desire not to avail of the benefits. So pag wala benefits. So hindi ito part ng required form. Okay. So it's not a required form. You may opt to file it. If you don't, it will not be taken against you.
All right, noted. Next question is on the financial bid form. The financial bid form that provided in the bid docs is for the financial bid form for goods. So is there a financial bid form for services or it's the same form that we will be using?
It's the same for services and goods. Kasi yung goods, yung services po is included in the goods.
All right, noted. And it's also as in the bid form, the bid bulletin numbers. Where shall we find the bid bulletin numbers?
If we issue a bid bulletin, there will be bid bulletin numbers na isasama. So kung walang bid bulletin, wala kang ilalagay, correct?
Yes.
So as of now, walang bid bulletin numbers because no bid bulletin has yet been issued for this particular procurement activity. So that is for in the event that bid bulletins were issued, then we ilalagay yun.
All right. Thank you.
No further questions?
Okay, in the price schedule, clinics are VAT exempt. Do we need to state in the sales tax portion the 2% deduction, or only we will just provide state their VAT exempt because COVID clinics are VAT exempt?
Indicate nyo na lang po na VAT exempt doon sa column kung saan yung provision for VAT.
All right. This streaming can be viewed in YouTube naman no thereafter po. Just to review the answers.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Confirm ko lang sa natin na ako. Ate, sa YouTube na, di ba? YouTube? Recording? Yes, on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Any other questions?
All right. Those are all my questions. Thank you.
Okay. Best Diagnostics has raised their hand. Easy na tanong.
Good morning. I have a question in regards for the single largest contract. Do we need to quote only one single contract or we just need to suffice the 50% of the ABC?
Hindi ganun kalinaw ang tanong mo.
No? No po.
Can you repeat your question?
Narinig na po ako, sir.
Sige, subukan natin ulit.
My question is about the SLCC po.
Okay.
Do we just need to put only one single contract to suffice the 50% or kahit ilang project basta masufis yung 50%?
It's SLCC, so it's single largest completed contract. So isa lang talaga yun. Hindi siya aggregate. Under the Procurement Act, there are certain conditions where we can allow the aggregation of several contracts to meet the minimum SLCC. Those are not yet present here. So as of now, it's required that the single largest completed contract be the single largest completed contract. Hindi ka pwede mag-add up ng several other contracts. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Dumating na ba dito yung wala? Okay, parang kayo tayo. Project updates.
For the information of the prospective bidders, the submission, and opening of bids for the COVID-19 project is on June 22, 2021. The deadline for submission is at 9 a.m. The opening of bids is at 10 a.m. June 22, 2021.
Thank you. That ends the briefing conference portion of our agenda. Prospective bidders are now excused. Before we proceed to the pre-production conferences, thank you for your interest. Okay. Let's proceed with the pre-production conference, the procurement of security services. I assume other than the numbers, pare-pareho ang terms of reference nito mga procurement activities. So, present ko yung terms of reference and we'll go over the numbers afterwards. Okay.
Have a proceed, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm going to present to you the terms of reference for the procurement of security services for the Philippine Ports Authority for Security Cluster, National Capital Region, Central Alliance, comprising the PPE Office, Port Management Offices, NCR North, NCR South, Bataan, Aurora, and Quezon, and the Terminal Management Office for under the respective jurisdictions. So, the rational objectives of this procurement is consistent with the principles of transparency, competitiveness, streamlined and use of technology in procurement, accountability, and public monitoring under the Public Act number 9185 revised implementing rules regulations. So, this comes to the reform and guide the prospective leaders interested in public and competitive meetings for the contract for the port security services in port security cluster, national capital region, central and northern Luzon. Just to protect undertaking the contract subject to the desired competition public bidding. Okay, this scope of undertaking, so the contract subject to the desired competition public bidding under the Public Act number 9184 and its includes port security needs, the PPE office, port management offices, terminal office, units located across the PEC, national capital region, central and northern Luzon. So, namely, first, the PPE office. So, for the PPE office, the numbers of business are 35. For the PPE training centers, 13. PPE guard centers are 7 with a total of 55 security guards. For the port management office of the NCR South with a total of 66 for the visitor and 22 for the Pasig PMO Pasig with a total of 30. Okay.
So for the management, okay, it's the one number. So, kailan mo nakuha yung numbers na from the BMO? Yes.
Sabihin mo, sir, oo na lahat.
Hindi, ito plan. Okay lang.
We are using the recommendation na propose request ng decision board.
Okay. So, from our current planning, ilan yung sagad nila?
Sorry.
From the current total number, ilan yung nalagdag?
Hindi siya pare-pareho, sir. Kasi